All right, guys, once again, I am Tom Downey. You can follow me on Twitter at WhatGoingDowney for all kinds of extra Cowboys coverage there. It's time now for some Cowboys Q&A. So again, like always, use hashtag Cowboys to get your questions on the show. That makes it a lot easier for producer Brett Scott to find them here. Next up from KB73, any chance for a suspension clause in Zeke's contract to protect the team? With the way the CBA works, if you are suspended, regardless, teams can void the guarantee. So you don't even need a specific clause. You can just void the guarantees if he gets suspended. So that does help quell things a little bit. All right, Lamar, what's the chances that Dallas is happy enough with Morris and Pollard to let Zeke sit? That is a dangerous game that Zeke could be playing. What happens if the Cowboys start the year 3-1 without Zeke and he sits out the first 4 games? And of course, Morris and Pollard are not the same caliber of player as Zeke. But what happens if, we're paying 20% for 80%? That's a win for them. That's a game that Zeke is playing. I don't think it's the outcome, but it is a consideration that Zeke has to have there. Eddie Harrison, replace Zeke with Hoopst. Get it right there. It's Hoopst, Eddie. Your plan right now is a combination of any of the above players. I guess following players because it's not written. There's no things above here. Alfred Morris, Tony Pollard. You can work in Darius Jackson, Mike Weber, Jordan Shunn. It's not really, though, relative to Zeke's talent, an ideal option there. So that's the big issue there for the Cowboys. Again, this is the depth chart right now. The Cowboys know Morris. They like Morris. Shunn, I think, is the 6th guy right now. But maybe he impresses in the preseason. If so, awesome. That's good for the Cowboys. But we'll see. All right. Unai Suarez, do you think the new cornerback we signed will make the roster? Probably not. He definitely has a chance. He's been on an NFL roster before. But I'll make note, too, in most cases, like 90 to 95 and beyond %, the guys that signed August 6th, that's Tyvis Powell in this case, typically don't end up making the roster. There are always exceptions, but for the most part, I think the Cowboys are viewing Powell as a body just to help you out in the preseason. All right, Ashton, do you see Mike Jackson starting at any point during the season? If so, what week? I don't. Unless the team is decimated by injuries, I don't see it happening. They have to move players. That's what they have to do. You have Byron Jones, Anthony Brown, Jordan Lewis, Cheeto, in no particular order, are all above Michael Jackson. Max Power says, Brett, ask Tom if I can get an autograph on a mini football. Brett, can we do that? He says yes, so there you go, Max. DM me on Twitter, all right? At WhatGoingDowney. We'll get you hooked up there. All right, Max? That's at WhatGoingDowney. I'll have associate producer Jimmy put my Twitter handle in the comments for you, too, so you can just click on it. All right, Film Productions. Opinion on Cedric Wilson making the roster. He's got a chance, but because he missed so much of last year with that injury, including camp time, I think that he's kind of playing catch-up right now. I think that's the big thing for Wilson. He might be a practice squad guy. I think in the end of those guys competing for that 6th roster spot, at least one, if not 2 of them end up on the practice squad this year for the Cowboys. Wilson, though, firmly in contention there. Preseason is going to be critical for that 6th spot. Now, today's show is brought to you by our friends over at MyBookie. Speaking of the preseason, why not bet on preseason games? Also, by the way, you guys like me saying this, but historically speaking, if you want to win money on Cowboys preseason games, bet against them. They're not a good preseason team. That's okay. It's preseason, it doesn't actually count. But bet on the Niners, who have better quarterback depth than the Cowboys. That's chatsports.com/Cowboys. Use promo code GOCowboys. Now I've got a question for you. Let's say, hypothetically speaking, that a magic genie showed up at your house or your apartment or whatever and said, hey there, so-and-so, I will guarantee the Cowboys a Super Bowl this year. In exchange, you have to give Jason Garrett a lifetime contract. Do you do it? I put this up on our community, and it was like 75% said no. Y'all are insane. You do it. I give him a lifetime contract worth all of the money. Because you're not necessarily guaranteed to not get one either. It's been like 25 years since the Cowboys won a Super Bowl. You're guaranteed to win one right now. I do it in a heartbeat. I know I am wrong there, Associate producer Jimmy was very surprised you guys voted no. I do it though. Give me the one right now, then the possibility of maybe getting one and it's been 25 years without one. I say yes. And now if I'm wrong, it's fine, whatever. But if you guarantee me one, I give him a lifetime deal. And then heck, he can replace Jerry Jones, the owner, for all I care. Just give me one of them. That's my mindset, although the no's have it here. All right, Billy Bob Jean, are you confident the triplets contracts will be solved? I'm not as confident as I was like 2.5 weeks ago. I think they get done and they get figured out at some point, but I think it's reasonable to have some concerns there. Michael King says trade a first, a second, and Zeke for Barkley. What do you think about this? I think it is a good debate to have. Who's better, Zeke or Barkley? And if you include contracts, Saquon's probably is a little bit better right now overall. But I'm not paying a first and a second to get a pretty similarly talented player who, if you even argue a little bit better, who, guess what? In a year and a half is probably going to hold out too. A first-round pick and a second-round pick is not worth a year and a half of less contract drama. Carter, if Zeke doesn't show up, would you focus on the pass game? What if I told you I want to focus on the passing game anyway? That the Cowboys, even if they do re-sign Zeke Elliott, should focus more on passing the ball and having an effective aerial attack and reducing his touches. That's my mindset. Cowboys fan 158, what chances does Tony Pollard have now? I don't know how drastically Pollard's role is going to change if Zeke's not there. Obviously, there is an uptick there, but I don't think it necessarily becomes, he is now the guy who gets 30 touches. I think Pollard's role is going to be special teams and a rotational back. I think that's what he is. And in the end, that's a role the Cowboys need. Think Lance Dunbar type. Ted Christian, is Rico Gathers down in the league, or do you see a team giving him a look? Look, it's the preseason. I think there's a good chance somebody picks him up. But in terms of having him make a 53-man roster, maybe this has been a wake-up call for Rico, because Jason Garrett was less than effusive in his comments today and his praise. I don't think he's going to make a full roster at this point. I think it's just not going to happen. Tony Pollard, do you think LC, or Tony Peters, wow, that's a Freudian slip right there, guys. Do you think LC gets traded before the end of the year? I would not be surprised if Dallas dealt an offensive lineman. They have enough depth, I think. But I think someone like Xavier Su'a-Filo makes more sense than Collins. It's tough because, in theory, you do it to get Connor McGovern on the field. He hasn't practiced yet because of a pec injury. He's been out all of camp. So I would be surprised in the end if Collins ends up getting traded. All right, guys, question for you here. How many live Cowboy reports have you watched in the past week? Let me know in the comment section. All right, we did one last night because Rico happened and I was almost about to leave the office, but I didn't for you guys. And then took my victory lap on Twitter and in the YouTube comment section. We're doing multiple lives a week. So Jesse says 5. A lot of you guys like Film and Luis and Zeno and NFC. Stop saying all of them. That is the correct answer, guys. Thank you all very much. And make sure you subscribe. We're going to stay live quite a bit for forever here on the Dallas Cowboys Report. All right, CAC. Oh, shut up, guys. You're all laughing at me. Cowboys trade Zeke for Gordon. It's the same problem, though. Let me ask this. What am I getting back in addition to Melvin Gordon? And that's my first question for you. Aaron Garcia, what are the chances we extend Dak, Zeke, and Cooper before the regular season? I think 2 out of the 3 happen. And I will clarify it by, I actually don't know which 2 it is anymore. I am not that confident, and I'll say it. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen here. We'll have to wait and see, which I know is not the answer that you guys want, but that's where I'm at. All right, Hare Krishna X. Heath replaced by Wilson by the end of the year. I wouldn't get your hopes up. Donovan Wilson right now is just fighting to make the roster. Be great if he does. That'd be a big win there because we know how much the staff likes Jeff Heath. But I would not anticipate seeing Donovan Wilson be a starter by the end there. All right, I'm just going to say this is wrong. Jobert. Maybe it's a soft J, like Yogging. I'm not sure. What is our goal potential depth chart at safety for the season? I'm not sure what the goal potential is. End of the year, look, Darian Thompson has impressed a little bit more than I expected. You got 1.5 locks. Xavier Woods, Jeff Heath's making the team, and I think he starts, so I'll put him as the extra half. Maybe it's more like 2.5 locks there. Kevon Frazier's on there. Iloka. I think it's Woods, and the 3 guys on the left at strong safety are probably your depth charts there. All right, guys, question for you now. Do you want a Cowboys Report Fantasy League? Type 1 for yes, 0 for no. Let me know in the comment section. If you type in 1 for yes, here's what I want you guys to do. DM me on Twitter at WhatGoingDowney. I don't know how many we'll do, so make sure you do it right now. Maybe we'll do a Cowboys Report only Fantasy League. So DM me on Twitter at WhatGoingDowney. Hey Cowboys fans, thanks for watching the Cowboys Report. If you haven't already, click right here to subscribe to our channel for all the best Cowboys coverage on the internet. That's news, rumors, highlights, mailbags, film studies, and a whole lot more. And I'm making your lives a little bit easier as well with the next Cowboys Report video right here.